Did it go live? Let's go check. I'm super late. I was supposed to start studying at 6:30. It's now 7:53. I was hoping tonight was going to be a early night. It might still. Let's not do that because it's only 7. I usually go to bed. I try to go to bed before like 11. Let's check to see if these things be working on the platforms and stuff. And if I could hear myself. Early night. It might still. Let's not do that. Oh, it's only 7. I usually go to bed. I can hear me. Go. Hey! I haven't talked to you in forever, have I? What am I doing? Checking to make sure this went out there. I get so distracted so easily. Alright, cool. I see myself on there. I don't think I really care about the YouTube thing because I know that always works. Alright, cool. I'm in a new place. I'm back home. That's what I need to do. I need to make sure I'm sharing my screen. All right. Back home. How are you guys doing today? Get out of the way. All right, cool. I can see the screen. So this past Wednesday, am I bugging? It's a long week. What was yesterday? Wednesday. This past Wednesday, my study group and I went over chapter 1 questions from this exam guide. I didn't use questions from the book because I know sometimes I might stream with using the book, and I want to make sure that if they look at the stream, they won't get the answers when it comes down to our study guide. To the study group. This is going to be super quick because I just want to do a quick review and then go over chapter 2 questions that are in the book. Some are fill in the blank, which I hate, but that does help reinforce things. And then some are multiple choice. These are the notes I took for chapter 2. Again, my notes are very quick simply because I'm pretty familiar with the concepts. And for things that I am not familiar with or things that I just want to recall that this is associated with chapter 2 is when I would write it down. I'm like, where did my music go? I know you recognize my face phone. I don't understand. One second. I like to put my lo-fi music on. All right. Cool. So in chapter 2, and I have another screen over there if you see me just looking to the side. Let me go back. So chapter 2 is about cloud deployments. Given a scenario like what is a deployment plan, change management is super important. That'll come up pretty often no matter where you're like studying from. Documentation, the different cloud deployment models. So they went into public, private, hybrid, and community. That's something that I think was on chapter 1 as well. And then we get more into like the configurations of networking. So VPNs, intrusion detection systems, intrusion prevention systems, DMZs, VLANs, the address spaces, segmentation, get into CPU and RAM, hyperthreading, failover. Is this where we get into RAID? I don't think so. I don't remember. The different storage types. So like you see how it has it bulleted here? That's kind of like what I did over here. Like I wanted, it looks the same. Because again, I just wanted bullet points and not to be copying the entirety of something. And if I did, I usually kind of just put it in a toggle. Damn, RAID is here. Oh, I hate RAID. All right, cool. Let's make sure I've gotten all the concepts, and then we can get into these questions. Change management, buy-in, realistic timelines and migrations, documentation, setting up automation is important, a cloud workflow, what are cloud tools and management for like orchestration probably. Hey, you didn't come late. I just started. Or I didn't even really start. I'm going over my notes, so you're good. Usually I going over my notes help people kind of come figure out whether or not they want to stay or get ready. So you're good. I haven't even started yet. The acronym FCAPS, I wrote that down, right? Yeah, fault, configuration, accounting, performance, security. Because I had no idea what FCAPS was. That's something that is new to me. Network management we got, or we understand. Public cloud. So public cloud is what everyone usually uses. That's the like the GCP, the Azure, the AWS, like public cloud or public cloud or is a cloud that is publicly offered, usually have shared pooled resources, as it just says here, public consumers. Private cloud is exactly like what it says. Private cloud is used for private use by a company. So, why do I feel like I have something in my face? It can be owned by the organization or by a third-party provider. So typically, if a company has a private cloud, that means they already have like an on-site premise, and then they're just extending that infrastructure to the cloud. Was the questions yesterday based on chapter 1? Yes, but as I said, oh, you might have missed it. So the questions that we did yesterday were based on domain, they were based on domain 1. So there are 5 domains on the Cloud Plus exam, and I got questions around domain 1. So next week will be domain 2. That's different from chapter 1 and chapter 2, right? Because chapter 1, 2, and 3 or 4 here can be covering domain 1. And chapter, because I think there's like 10 chapters in here, and each one of those, each 2 or 3 of them cover a particular domain. So that's how I did the questions. I didn't do questions in here because I know I gave you guys the book, and I want you guys to have like be answering the same questions, especially if I'm gonna live stream it. So no, I got brand new questions, don't worry. Yeah, private cloud, like I said, is an extension. Hybrid cloud is a combination of 2 or more delivery models. Let me highlight that. 2 or more delivery models, so you can have private and public. You can have, excuse me, it's too much salsa. You can have community and public, community and private. It's just a combination of 2. Hybrid is just 2 or more. Community clouds are designed for a specific community for shared interests. So a lot of the examples I saw were like, if a university is doing, or like if a university is doing research and there's multiple universities around certain research, right? So say, for example, they were all doing research for the vaccine and they want to share those resources with one another, they would use like a community cloud. Or another example I saw was like the police department. When they want to share databases with one another over state lines or over maybe the same counties, they would use a community cloud. All right, network protocols, HTTP, FTP, HTTPS. Common ports, they give you a list of all of that, plus the known protocols that you should know. Again, if you're familiar already with Security Plus, you should have seen this. But if you're brand new to it, these are definitely ports and protocols that like you should be writing down and memorizing. That like port 80, is for HTTP, and port 21 is for FTP, or port 443 is for HTTPS, XYZ DNS is 53. Like you should know all those things. VPNs, virtual private networks, are definitely something that is really big in the cloud. So that's an important topic to pick up on. Intrusion detection systems and intrusion prevention systems. Big difference is the word between detection and prevention. As it says, detection will just kind of like alert you and be like, hey, something is up on your network. If you configured some policies to like let me know whenever someone was using a VPN, or let me know if somebody's using or downloaded something, that was when the intrusion detection system would come in play. But if you want to take it a step further and block anyone from downloading something, like if it's a confidential document that you have tagged, or a policy that you have to not download confidential documentation, or if you have something configured where it's like no one should be using this protocol, it will automatically block it if someone tried to use something over a certain protocol. A DMZ, important to know. VLANs, I think this is a long chapter too, so I don't want to spend too much time going over everything. We can get into, because they get heavy into storage, and then they get into raids. Oh boy, I can't do that for you guys. I hate raids with a passion. Server migration. So you have like physical to virtual, which is like on-premise to virtual. You could do virtual to virtual. You can do virtual to physical, which is pretty rare. Offline, online. Damn, this is a long chapter. That's why we skipping stuff. Okay, written lab. All right. Restrooms. I absolutely love lo-fi beats to study to. Like, it's the best thing in the world. I just want to double check to make sure I haven't been talking to myself. Okay, I'm not. Cool. All right, so a hypervisor function. I didn't even read through everything, so I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have to go back to answer these questions. Let me move this over so I can see. All right, a hypervisor function that allows the hypervisor to reclaim unused memory from a VM running on top of that hypervisor and to allocate the memory for other uses is referred to as, oh, I know I wrote it down, but I forgot the name. There you go, memory ballooning. I was like, I know that was one that, oh, I should write it down too, right? All right, perfect, cool. A blink is a very high-speed, highly redundant, and completely dedicated to interconnecting storage devices. I want to say high-speed internet. A blink. Virtual private network? Virtual private, yeah. Like, I wonder if they're trying to put it out. Let me see, let me open all these. Reports, VLAN. I'm gonna say virtual private network. We just gonna again. What did I say last time? I was gonna say with my chest. Oh, I put this in the wrong spot. Okay, cool. Let's say virtual private network. Number 3, blank blank refers to a system that will remain operational even after there's been degradation of its systems. These systems can maintain functionality because of its high resilient design that takes into account the possibility of system failures and works to mitigate or work around any failures to maintain operation. I know it's redundant. It's chugga, 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 chugga. Oh, I was way off of that. Storage access network? Oh, I think I got number 2 wrong. That's storage access net. I can't spell work. Number 3, remain operational even after it's been degraded of its system. What can I think right now? Watch, I didn't write it down. Nope. Nope. I don't know that one. The system can mean high availability? All right, we're going to skip that one. I don't know number 3. No, I don't have it. Not available. Oops. I hate Notion when it comes to like, oh, that's pretty cool. I just learned something new. I didn't even know I could do that. Oh, that's how you anchor things. I've been using Notion for so long and I still don't know how to do something. Right. Not available at the time. Number 4, blank blank copies the data to the primary storage system and simultaneously over the network to remote sites and ensure all replicas are up to date and in sync. Asynchronous. Simultaneously, so that's synchronous. Synchronous. Yes. Replication. Number 5, if your cloud provider is running a different type of hypervisor, you may need to perform a blank migration prior to moving the VM to the new cloud service provider. You may need to do a physical to virtual. Oh no, if your cloud provider, oh, excuse me, virtual to virtual. See, reading is fundamental. Migration. Oh, I think you just have to. Number 6, blank blank is the ability to move applications from one cloud provider to another without a requirement for a major format conversion. Shit, did I just get that last one wrong? So that's a migration. They're talking about migration. Let me see. That's a good question. What is that? Because I don't think virtual to virtual goes here. Because this one actually says migration, and the type of migrations. Where did I just have it? Oh, come on. Where are the migrations? I just saw them. Okay, I'm bugging. Yeah, so virtual to virtual is number 5. I'm not sure what number 6. That's also going to be not available. All right, number 7. Blank allows multiple organizations to use the same data for identification when accessing the networks or resources of everyone in the group. Community. Oh, resource pooling? Is resource pooling here today? Oh, I thought this might be an answer, but I don't think it is. It is high availability. I know I'm right. Which one? Number 3. Yeah, I think number 3 is high availability. I thought I was wrong. I'll let my good. Number 7. Allows multiple organizations to use the same data for identification when accessing the networks or resources of everyone in the group. I want to say, weren't we just talking about, or are just talking about community, whatchamacallit, community clouds? But I think community clouds would be 2 words, no? Let's try it. I'm gonna put community. And let's see if it works. A blank blank. Number 8. Come back down. Offers performance enhancement, scalability, and encryption termination services for public web servers. A blank blank offers performance enhancement, scalability, and encryption termination services for, oh, a VPN? Wait, what? I don't know what you're asking me. A blank blank offers performance enhancement, scalability, and encryption termination services. Oh, that's supposed to be SSO. No, I'm an idiot. I'm not an idiot, but like, number 4. At the same time, sorry, I'm going back to number 4 because now I saw about mirror, and now I think it's mirror and not synchronous. Am I saying that right? Synchronous. Where's my notes? Don't be like me. Take better notes. Not a token model. Not a storage tier. Oh, I was right. Okay, go on my gut. See, I was about to change my answer too. Number 8. Offers performance enhancement, scalability, and termination. I have no clue. I don't think I have that, whatever that term is. 9. Taking sample performance metrics that need to be collected as part of the documentation process is called creating a change management process. Oh no, they had an actual word for it. Oh, is that this? FCAPS? No, that's not it. Taking, see guys, this is why notes is fundamental. I don't know that one either. Let's just get on to the multiple choice ones because that's easy. I don't know why I do these written louds. It's because I want to be able to recall the definitions of terms, but clearly that's not working. The blank 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 monitors network traffic for malicious activity and actively attempts to prevent the attack. That is the intrusion protection system. Okay, cool. Now multiple choice questions. Okay. Let's do, oh, that's what I was checking. Okay, cool. Review questions. Number 1. Carl is documenting, let me highlight it for you guys. Carl is documenting his employer's cloud deployments and needs to label the cloud delivery model. They need to get that grammar correct. I'm like, is it me? Carl is documenting his employer's cloud deployments and needs to label the cloud delivery model that is used by his single organization. As a Cloud Plus consultant, I didn't even know that was a thing. What would you suggest he name his internal cloud? Okay, a couple of keywords that I'm getting from this question, right? So they have single organization and internal cloud. Now earlier I said there was 3 cloud deployment models. I was about to say infrastructure as a service. You have the public cloud, private cloud, there's 4, excuse me. There's actually 5. Public cloud, private cloud, hybrid cloud, community cloud, and then they have multi-cloud. And the difference, I guess, between hybrid and multi-cloud is that hybrid cloud isn't including on-premise cloud deployments, right? So like, whereas hybrid can be private and public, or maybe private and community, multi-cloud is just really cloud and cloud. So like GCP and AWS, or AWS and Azure, that's multi-cloud. You wouldn't call that hybrid cloud, though. Like technically hybrid is 2 or more, right? Anyway, so cool. Those 2 keywords that I said, single organization and internal organization, leads me to believe it is private. So I'm going to say C. Number 2, a national tax preparations firm is accessing industry-specific productivity applications in the cloud. Many other tax preparation companies are also subscribing to the same service. Sorry, I got cracked my back. What model of cloud are they accessing? So here, again, keywords to look for when answering questions, because that'll help you kind of take out 2 of the answers, right? Because you want to narrow it down to at least 2, so that way you have a 50-50 chance of getting it right. So here, keywords that stood out to me is accessing industry specific, and that other tax preparation companies are also subscribing to the same service. So automatically what comes to me is community. Mary is a Cloud Plus certified security consultant for her company. She's researching enhanced security access systems. What could she suggest that requires, sorry, I just thought of something else when I saw these answers. What could she suggest that requires something you must have and something you must know? So keywords here. I don't even care about the first one. I don't care if she's a consultant girl. And she's researching security access systems. So like, how can someone get access to something? Now, automatically, when I saw something you have and something you know, that automatically made me think of multi-factor. Multi-factor authentication is something like there's 5 of them. Ooh. Something you have, something you know, something you are. What's the other 2? Something you have, something you know, something you are. Something. There's 5. But the something you have and something you know is the most popular one. Something you are is now more popular because that's biometrics. And biometrics, of course, is becoming more popular, especially during the pandemic where nobody wants to touch anything. So we're using like eye scanning in order to authenticate. So like, for example, when I went through the airport, I have Clear. They use your biometrics in order to kind of authenticate you through TSA. So yeah, number 3, multi-factor. Somewhere you are? Is somewhere you are a part of it? I don't remember that. I can Google. Why am I acting like Google's not a thing? 5 factors of authentication. Yeah, 5 types of authentication. Something you know. Something you have. That's what I was thinking. I knew it was something physical. Okay, something you have, like a token. Something you are, that's me. Somewhere you are, good job. Something you do. It says that's the least utilized. It's like a picture password. Okay, so that's why I like it. Again, there's three that are the most common. Hold on, getting a phone call. There's three that are the most common. Oh, let me take my call back. Which is the something you are, something you know, and something you have. Let's say, call you right back. Cool. We did number 3. Number 4. P is concerned about stored data that is replicated to a standby zone, but not CAPTCHA. I guess that's a weird. I don't like those aren't valid. I guess they try to use that for like robots, but yeah, it's not utilized. That's why like the website that I just went to said it was the least utilized one. So they usually typically use the 3 that we've been talking about. Cool. Thank you for that. P is concerned about stored data that is replicated to a standby zone, but not immediately. The delay means there's going to be a short period of time where the data is not consistent. What storage replication service ensures eventual consistency? Okay, so what stood out to me is that he is concerned about stored data that's replicated, but not immediately. There's a delay happening, which means your data is not consistent, because if it's delayed, if I save something right now, that means later on when I try to kind of do a get, or like a get and a push. So if I try to do a get, that means that information isn't on my second storage. That information isn't going to be updated yet because there's a delay between what's current and my data backup. So what storage replication service ensures eventual consistency? Holy moly, they said RAID 6. And I hate RAID. Oh, it doesn't say pick more than one. It says pick one. Okay, cool. All right, so synchronous replication means that it is mirroring at the same time. And we know I don't think that's it. Asynchronous is not it, because asynchronous means that it will sync to it eventually. So I'm confused now by this question, right? Because he's concerned about the fact that there's a delay. And he said, what service ensures eventual consistency? So when I remember reading asynchronous, it does eventual consistency, which means that it'll replicate maybe say 10 minutes from now, versus synchronous, which does it at the same time. Block, I don't know what that is. Tier 1, I don't know what that is. Firebase, I don't know what that is. RAID 6, I'm not going to look at my notes. RAID 6, I am not familiar with. So I know RAID 0 through 5. 6 is not recalling. So we're going to have to do a guess here. Eventual consistency is the key word, and I'm trying to remember which definition went with eventual consistency without looking at my notes. I'm going to go with my gut. My gut says B. Let's see if my gut's right. Okay, Scott, number 5. Scott is planning his company's upload of stored data to the cloud. What are 2 common storage migration types? Please choose 2. Okay, if he's planning his company's upload to stored data in the cloud, he is going from physical to virtual, so A, and then upload. He can do it. That's confusing. Okay, so what popped out to me automatically, I was about to say, because I think that's a keyword. So automatically I was going to say A and D. But now that I'm thinking about it, it's asking for stored data and storage migration types. This is, when I said A, I'm thinking of just regular cloud migration types. So if it's storage migration, I'm going to say C and D, because you can upload online or you can upload offline, which the biggest difference is that if you migrate things offline, it's typically faster than if you were to do it online, while everything is running and up. Like, that's typically slow, and I think it has a bandwidth capacity compared to offline, which kind of allows you to upload things way faster. And you can do like direct connect, where you can connect directly. Like if you're a larger company, usually you can just connect directly to the cloud service provider, and then that's kind of like the fastest. They set up like your own standalone thing. All right, number 6. Judy's migrating a Linux OS from running on a dual slot 8-core server in a private cloud to a VMware-based server in the public cloud. What type of migration would she perform? So that's what I was talking about, where there's a difference between a question saying what type of migration versus what type of storage migration. Okay, so let me reread it again. She's migrating a Linux OS from running on a dual slot 8-core server in a private cloud to a VMware-based public cloud. She's doing a private public. Oh, y'all tried me. She's doing a private to virtual. Okay, y'all tried me. Y'all almost. Block to object, I think. Oh, you talking about number 5? We'll double check, because if you do block to object is referring to. Did I write it down? I did not. We'll come back to that one, but I don't think it's block to object. You might be right. You never know. I'm not perfect. Number 7. I finished number 6, right? Number 7. Damn, I hate to choose 3s. Oh, that's easy. What is that? SHH? Okay. Christina has been asked by the Firewall Administration Group to identify secure network protocols that can be used to prevent network analyzers from being able to read data in flight. Which of the following are considered secure network protocols that she recommends, which is why it is important to learn the different protocols and their associated ports. Cool. So automatically HTTPS, automatically FTPS. TP doesn't have to do with that. So this is out. A is out. Dynamic host protocol, that is out. That doesn't have to do with preventing network analyzers. DNS doesn't have to do with it. That's dealing with domain name service. SSH, the reason why I'm confused about SSH is because it's secure shell. SMTP is out. Okay, cool. So we're going to do C, E, G. C, E, G. 3, right? Yeah, cool. 3. What is the process of complicating the ability to read stored data? That is obfuscation. Complicating is like trying to confuse, and you can hide your message in a variety of ways. They call the whole process obfuscation, but like there's a whole bunch of things that you can do to basically hide your data, swap the letters, or you can scramble the whole thing. It's called obfuscation. I don't know who makes up these words. Number 9, Jerry is learning. How many questions are there? Ooh, 20, girl. We are slow. Jerry is learning about cloud storage systems. She's interested in learning about high-speed network storage solutions. What would you recommend she focus her research on? Okay, keyword to me is about cloud storage systems, high-speed network storage solution. So SAN, I remember reading in my notes, storage access network is the high-speed, high-availability, interconnected storage solution. So I'm going to go with that answer. Voice getting cool. Number 10. What is the process of determining the identity of a client, usually by a login process? Determining the identity is the key word here, versus you'll always see a difference between authorization and authentication. So my thought process is identity access, I'm taking out. Federation, I'm taking out because those are authentication mechanisms. Accounting, I'm taking out. You'll see AAA. Authorization is making sure you're validating that the person is who they say they are, versus authentication, which is challenging them to authenticate who they are. Does that make sense? Hold on. Authentication versus authorization. Authentication means I'm validating or checking who you are, versus authorizing is I've checked who you are. Now I need to check to make sure what you're trying to access, whatever resource. Let's say if I'm trying to get access to a web application, do I have authorization from that? So say if I'm on the HR team and I'm trying to access something from the security team, am I authorized to do that? Versus authentication is, am I who I say I am in order to get into the system in the first place? So I'm going to go with C. 11. What are common management interfaces that are used to migrate and manage cloud-based resources? Choose 3. What are common management interfaces used to migrate and manage cloud-based resources? You have the web console, yes. You have API, yes. And you have CLI, command line interface. So you can use web console, you can use APIs, you can use the command line interface. That's a pretty popular question, so I recommend to memorize that one. Okay, 12. VMs running on a hypervisor consume which of the following resources? Choose 3. They love for you to choose 3 up in here. VMs running on a hypervisor consume which of the following resources? Bare metal cores, virtual RAM, software as a service, doesn't make sense, virtual CPUs, RAID, memory pools. Okay. I'm going with B and D and F. What system, 13, what system was developed to address the different types of storage? Needs a cloud. This is what I'm talking about with that grammar. What system was developed to address the different types of storage needed a cloud consumer may require for availability, response time, backup, and economics? Okay, policies doesn't make sense because that doesn't address availability, or like that doesn't have to do with storage. Tiering is a storage type. Multipathing I'm familiar with, and RAID is a storage type, but I don't think it addresses response times. It does address availability, it does address backups, but I don't think it addresses economics. So I'm going to go with tiering. That's the only one I think that kind of makes sense here. All right, 14, almost there. Terry is planning on implementing physical disk redundancy on her SQL database in the public cloud. She's creating specifications for her virtual machine image that will become the template for the database servers. What type of disk redundancy option could she implement to meet the need? Do they do a spell check on these books? Because I am confused. What type of disk redundancy options could she implement to meet the needs of an SQL deployment? All right, we're going to have to throw that back because that was long. All right, she's implementing physical disk redundancy for SQL database, public cloud. She needs a template. What type of disk redundancy options? Okay. So I don't think tiering applies here. When I see disk redundancy, automatically I'm thinking of RAID, because RAID are disks. Multipathing, I still don't know. Masking doesn't apply here, so I'm going to go with RAID. All right, 5 more, right? Yes. Cool. Which storage type stripes file data and performs a parity check? Oh, listen, we're going to have to guess with this one because I don't remember any of the rates. What storage type stripes file data and performs a parity check of data over multiple disks that can recover from a hard disk failure? Okay, I know it's not zero. Parity checks. All right. Right now I'm thinking C or D. I know A is automatically out. Like I hate RAID too. Like I hate it with a passion, and I wish they would stop asking me because I do not. I do not deal with RAID in any of my. I've never dealt it with it in my career ever, ever, like ever, like ever. It's like calculus. Like why did I have to take that so many times? What are you studying? Cloud Plus. I think it's in the title. So we're going to take a guess here. We're going to guess together. We're going to go with C or D. I'm going to go with D because of my name. That's not a good way to guess. Don't do that on the exam, but I'm going to do that now. 16. Jill is reviewing a document from her secondary community cloud provider. What is the document that outlines specific metrics and minimum performance that is offered by the cloud provider? Okay, keywords here for me that automatically tells me that it's SLA is she is reviewing a document from her cloud provider, and this document outlines specific metrics, minimum performance offered by the cloud provider, right? SSL doesn't apply here because it has nothing to do with it. Benchmarking, oh, is that the word from earlier? Benchmarks with these NAs? I think one of those is benchmarks or base. Okay. Benchmarks doesn't apply here because benchmark is when you're benchmarking something, you are comparing where you are in comparison to, or excuse me, when you're creating a benchmark, you're creating a comparison between you and, like, say if there's benchmark standards for a specific cloud service provider, you need to figure out what those benchmarks are so you can meet them in comparison to a baseline. And a baseline is like, if there are minimum standards you need to be secure, that's the baseline that you're at. So anyway, when it comes to specific metrics and minimum performance, that's always SLAs. SLAs is like, for example, cloud service providers have 99.99999% availability. Like that's in everybody's SLA. It's on their website. You can check it. They are supposed to meet availability 99.99999% of the time. So that's why when they have some outages, they're like, hey girl, that's my little 1.00001% of outage, like relax. SLAs means they're supposed to meet specific metrics. 99.999. Okay, 17. Storage area network support. Which type of storage? Block. Oh, choose the best answer. Block, right? Storage area network. That's fast. Block is fast. I'm thinking of ciphers now. Hold on, my everything's all over the place now. When I'm thinking of block, I'm thinking of like block versus stream. Isn't stream faster? Storage access network supports which kind of storage? I'm gonna go with my first gut. Is it block? Okay, it's not file. I wonder if it was object. Whatever, I'm gonna say block. This is why I stick with security. What identity system gives multiple discrete organization access to your NoSQL community cloud database via your cloud-based application server? What? Read that again. What identity system gives multiple discrete organizations, I'm gonna say federation, organization access to your NoSQL community database via your cloud-based application server? Okay, to me, what's standing out is that they're saying multiple discrete organizations, access to my community. And I know this between Federation and SSO, but I want to say with Federation, the terminology discrete organizations is in the definition. I'm sort of sure, pretty sure. Yeah. Okay, 19. When performing a migration from your on-site private cloud to a new community cloud data center, which of the following are project management pre-migration action items? Read that again. When performing a migration from your on-site to a community cloud, which of the following are project management? Okay, cool. So I don't need to do RAID because that comes after, and I don't need to do VM file format. I definitely think I need my benchmarks. Because again, I need to make sure that I am maintaining what's on premise in the cloud. So like if you use 75% of your bandwidth on premise, you want to make sure that you have at least 75% in the cloud. Otherwise you'll be underutilizing, like you won't be utilizing to the same capacity that you was in on premise. And then online migration bandwidth is making sure that you have the capacity to migrate online, because that can take a lot. So you want to make sure you're accommodating for that compared to maybe migrating offline, which is like kind of like after hours kind of thing. So I'm going to say C and D. Those are the only two that really make sense. This is one of those questions where it's just like, I know the first one doesn't make sense, and I know the second one doesn't make sense. And if it's asking me to choose two, then C and D is going to be the best option for me. For me, didn't mean to make that rhyme. Last one. What cloud systems monitor the network and report security issues? Cloud Shield? No. Firewall is a good one. But what monitors the network and reports security issue? So if you remember me talking earlier, I said there's a difference between intrusion prevention system and intrusion detection system. Whereas prevention is going to take the extra further step to block, but detection is only going to monitor and report. So I'm going to say D. Okay, cool. We're done. Let's check our answers. Okay, can I just skip? I can't. No. I want, that's not what I want. What do I want? Table of contents. Answers. All right. Wait, let's do written lab first. So this is chapter 2. Okay, memory ballooning. I was right. Cool. Storage. Oh, area network. I meant to say area. Damn, fault tolerance. Why didn't I think of that? I think I said that. Anyway, synchronous replication. I don't know why I keep saying synchronous replication. Virtual to virtual was correct. Application portability. Yeah, I definitely didn't have that in my notes, did I? I don't. I need to write that down. Cool. Federations. All right, I was off with that one. Load balancer. I didn't know load balancer was in chapter 2. So are they using words? So that's confusing, right? So I assumed that the terminology for chapter 2 would, the questions that they're asking for chapter 2 would only be the terms found in chapter 2. And I feel like load balancer was in the first chapter, unless I just don't have good memory. Okay. 9 is benchmark. I didn't know that one. And then intrusion prevention system. Why did I say protection system? Prevention system. All right. Let's check our other answers. Okay. C is correct. Private cloud. D is correct. D is correct. B is correct. C and D is correct. E is correct. C, E, G is correct. B is correct. All right, Dominique, you out here. D is correct. 10? Yeah. Wait, scroll down. Okay, C is correct. ACE is correct. BDF is correct. C is correct. B is correct. Am I right? Yeah, 4. B is correct. D is correct. B is correct. C is correct. Oh, snap! Did I get all of them? Dang, I was so close to getting all of them right. Fudge sticks. What was 19 again? Oh, VM file. Look at me. Both migration, WAN, bandwidth, and compatible VM file formats are critical for a successful migration. They got me. I was so close. I would have had 20 out of 20. Dang, I got 19. But that's really good because I guessed with a lot of them. Wait, we got the RAID question right? Because they had a RAID question, no? No. RAID 5. Look at us out here. RAID 5. It is a lot of stuff to keep in your head. It is. That's why taking tests is like super stressful because they expect you literally to memorize all of these terms, how to apply the terms, how to do X, Y, Z. And it really just comes with repetition and experience after a while. Okay, cool. Man, that was a good night. And I was thinking okay, so we might not do written labs anymore because written labs really be hurting my soul because I'm not getting those right. Or maybe I need to actually like read over the stuff. But we out here with the multiple choice questions, and that's what's important because we're here to take a multiple choice exam and not a fill in the blank exam. Okay, cool. What time is it? Dang, 8:49, almost 9 o'clock. It's time for me to get ready for bed. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you took the test with me. Let me know what your results are. Hey works with what helps you best. I know. Yeah, if you watch the replay, I'm only going to keep up replays for a couple for some time on one of the platforms, and then I'm probably going to migrate them to either all to YouTube or to Patreon. I don't know yet. But yeah, take the test. Let me know how you do. Let me know what you get, and I will be back next week to study again. If you want to do a more one-on-one studying, we have the study group for the same exact exam every Wednesday. If you want access to it, right there is my Twitter. Just DM me or message me, and I'll give you access to the Discord so that way you can join the Zoom call. And I think that's it. Shout out to me, 19 out of 20. All right, cool. Bye, guys.